All right, dear. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so it says that we're live right now, so hold on. We're going to just start early.
Okay. Wish I'd gotten a drink now.
Well, you can still do that. Go ahead and get your drink on, um, and I will fiddle with my settings and get it, the intro going.
Hey, you've made it to the SpaceboyUniverse YouTube channel. One, click that subscribe button, and then click the bell to get notified when new content is available. It's that simple. Please consider to do so.
32 minutes, 21 seconds. 5 seconds. Tone followed 1 cent pause.
You are listening to Spaceboy Universe.
Okay, gang, let's go.
Go ahead and say something, dear. Can you hear me? Hey,
Yeah.
there you go. Can you not hear me talking to you through the mic?
Not till now, no.
Okay. All right, so we're going to go forward on this and just kind of go it from here. Um, Greetings and welcome, everyone. This is Spaceboy of the Spaceboy Universe, and joining me live through Discord is Sirlana. Say hello, Sirlana.
Okay.
That's it? That's all you got to say?
Well, usually you just want me to do that and not say anything till you've got out everything you're done with.
Well, this is your golden opportunity to go ahead and try to move forward from here.
Okay. Well, I'm not prepped. I didn't even know we were doing this, so this probably won't be that good.
Thank you. I appreciate your optimistic view on trying to produce a show.
I have no idea what we're doing. I really don't.
Uh,
Sorry.
well, you're in front of a computer,
Yeah.
and it's your personal computer, so it's not like you can't like look at something or something that we've talked about. In fact, we did
Can't talk about what we've talked about.
we did a show a while back with Miss Michelle about prepping,
Oh,
and
yeah.
and I strongly encourage everybody that if you haven't
Yeah.
heard that show,
Yeah.
to go ahead
It's
and
time to prep.
prep is a good idea.
Very
Uh,
much so.
the world is pretty much going to hell in a handbasket. And the best thing you can do right now is to do a little prep.
And that's what getting. How much supply do you think? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month?
Uh, Initially, the thing has been 72 hours for it, at the minimum. And
I would go 2 weeks, or if you can.
well, if you can, I mean, if you're Mormon, usually it's a whole year that they do prepping
Well, if you haven't before, you need to do it before November. Do it before November.
for obvious reasons.
Yeah, and we're not trying to incite
Panic.
discord, no pun intended. But it doesn't. If nothing happens, then you've got extra food.
Yes,
That's the worst.
and I have been nibbling out of our stuff just to make sure that it's being eaten and it doesn't get to the point where it expires.
We've been having emergency supplies since Hurricane Ike.
hmm
That's what taught us the first lesson. We didn't think it would be because of unrest, but
Well,
emergencies and emergencies.
well, the nice thing is we've been blessed here in Houston that we haven't had the unrest that we've seen across the country, like in Portland and other locations.
And even the natural disasters that have happened, we've been able to recover
hmm
as a city. So we're kind of lucky in that way. So
Well, I don't know about you. I am tired of being um, gelled up in our house.
yeah, you don't do very well in confinement. I hope you never have to go to prison.
No, I will say that I have been to jail before, and it's not a pleasant experience. Um, I had to kill that hobo on the side of the road by the railroad tracks, and that's how I went to jail. And everybody, I have not killed anybody.
Why do
And
you have so many things going on in your room?
why am I like what? My
There's
phone?
beeping, there's
Well,
crazy noises.
the beep was my watch. The phone was the alarm to wake you up, so that we could get this rodeo on the road.
It's
And
like you're running a sci-fi show in there.
well, it's my alarm. It's loud, obnoxious, and it gets to the point um, of waking somebody up or
Well,
hey.
the the problem with our show's format is our topics is where we're not allowed to talk about history anymore because we're not supposed to acknowledge it happened.
hmm
Um, Entertainment is a wasteland right now. We never did talk about sports, but if we ever did, we would have stopped. Um, Music. Listening.
Well, hold on there.
Music.
I wouldn't say I've aged out of this. I think
Like
that
if you were to turn on an FM station, a local FM station, could you find something you could listen to?
yeah, I think I could.
That's not talk radio.
Okay, that is my age kicking in. That I like to listen to the news. I've always been a news junkie, more so now that I'm older, for some bizarre reason. I can remember going back in time and remember seeing my grandfather constantly read the newspaper. He always liked to read the newspaper,
But yeah, my parents did too.
and then
They
as
constantly watching the news or newspaper.
and then my mom would always watch. She'd never miss a moment to watch the evening news, local news, and then she would watch the national news too as well. But and now that I'm in the digital age, I've been glued to cable news and what they have to say and spew out, puke up, and right now,
It's not the same experience from your youth, is it?
as far as no, it's the news is much different. In fact, I was watching, I guess the press secretary, Kaylee, and I can't think of her last name, but the news people that were asking her questions were really obnoxious, and I just, and then they were crying about how on Twitter people were roasting. Now there's my phone going off. You gonna give me a hard time about that? Um,
Yeah, because I don't know why you have to know things instantly.
I do. It's the technology and the world we live in. So, but anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, they were just being. This one reporter was all upset because he was being roasted on the internet because of him being such a jackass.
Well,
And
welcome to the internet. Everybody gets it on the internet, no matter what you say, what you do, or what side you're on.
right.
Everybody gets it.
So and then of course the big daddy of them all, Jim Acosta. I guess that's his last name. He's a real jackass, pain in the ass, and quite frankly. And then what really got me is CNN, basically using foul language to describe the debates, calling it an S show, and I just like, you're supposed to have some decorum, and basically the news, and I single CNN out because they are the communist news network, and they're just a bunch of jackasses in general. Um, so I don't know. It's the world we live in now. That's just
There's
it.
no such thing as news where, hey, this happens, we're going to tell you about it. It's now hit pieces and opinion pieces and commentary and smear campaign.
Yeah,
There's no such thing as reporting
yeah,
what went on.
yeah. It's not like the news of Walter Cronkite and back then. Well, I know I said it wrong, didn't I? Anyway, the point I was about to make was that the news back then versus news now is not really news because everybody's a commentator.
Everybody's got to have their opinion, and we're supposed to just believe it,
And
without questioning.
quite frankly, some of these if you want to call them reporters, they just need to shut the hell up and report the news. And not, I don't tune in for your opinion. I tune in to get the facts of the issue, and at the end, go ahead.
It's not just news that has let us down. It's also
Oh,
entertainment and forms of entertainment and people who do the entertaining.
hmm
There's some things that have been revealed that I'm like, well, I kind of knew they weren't great people to begin with, and I'm like, oh, they're pretty scummy. And
yeah,
then we've had to cancel Netflix over a morality ethics issue, so
yeah.
it just
It
gets better and better.
couldn't have come at a worse time because the final season of Stranger Things is coming out, and
Yeah.
but you have to.
But,
Are you for pedophilia or are you not for
yeah,
pedophilia?
it's a
Uh,
principle thing.
yeah.
The thing is, if this is Stranger Things' last uh, season,
hmm
that might be, something worth watching. But if they're just going to jerk us around and not give anybody a nice ending, there's no point in watching it anyway. So
Anyway, so uh,
here, we'll talk about something that is more closer to what the people who used to listen to us like. Um, Given the effed up nature of this fear,
hmm
if ever there was going to be a false flag disclosure, this would be the year for it. Because might as well pile on the crazy. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So I was trying to find
Well,
some information on that.
the year's not up yet, and um, and then with Trump in the hospital with COVID issues, bear bug.
That disturbs me.
Yeah,
Things are starting to look.
because
I know people will disagree with me, but things are starting to look a little bit biblical to me.
so if Trump goes away, to the pearly gates. Then you have Pence moves up to first place, and guess who moves up as vice president?
The Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, Drunky Pelosi.
I'm trying to find a site that we're talking about possible full UFOs. There's always somebody saying, this is the year, this is the year, this is the year. It's never the year. But this was posted on December 30, 2019. Full UFO disclosure in 2020. Activist claims. Of course, the activist is Stephen Bassett,
Hmm.
a name that you know.
Yeah.
So, I still think some of the things that are being released from, there was this big news story, and the guy went on Joe Rogan. He was a pilot, and he had this footage of this anomaly that they caught. And I just think it's one form of the government not talking to the other form of the government. It's secret stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's all
Where did they get that? No, where did they get it? I don't know.
compartmentalized. Left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. Um, Preston Dennett has a new book out. I'm kind of curious to get. His stuff is always interesting, and he's been pretty active on Heather Wade's Facebook site. You know who Heather Wade is, right?
More or less.
She was kind of picked out to be a star for Art Bell, kind of blessed by him, um, and so she's kind of been doing her Kingdom of Nye program, but she took off for a little bit, but now she's back doing her thing, and so it's good for her that she's back, and she kind of encapsulates how Art's show was ran, and it's not bad. It's pretty decent. It's like our show where we're putting together a show with baling wire and duct tape, and
Probably because we had to.
what's going to happen is I'm going to have to unplug every single wire and patch everything through. I spent a couple hours today trying to get the studio back to normal. I mean, we got a replacement computer, and it's just I don't know. I've reached a point where I just couldn't do it anymore, and that's why we're doing this Discord slash.
I think this works really well. And you're able to, the nice thing about Discord is it's an app or it's a web interface, so you can literally do this anywhere.
Right.
So you're not tied to a specific computer or location, function, internet, but everybody uses Discord. This is not sponsored, but it's free, and all the gamers use it. Like, if you've been watching people playing Among Us, good chances are they're using Discord to talk to each other, mute themselves, chat, share screens, have a public server to chat with their fans.
What was that one YouTuber that we watch pretty regularly that they would use Discord, and that site was
They
pretty.
all do it.
Well, it starts with a C, I believe. And they would show a picture in the chat room, and then
Oh, call me Carson.
yeah, call me Carson. Yes, yeah,
He's pretty well known.
yeah, pretty funny stuff.
Cursed images, cursed
Mhm.
videos. That's the one we watched. We watched several, but that's the one we watched cursed videos. And they showed that one where apparently that hillbilly got assaulted by a female Bigfoot,
Yeah,
and it was a video on YouTube. Of course, it doesn't show. He just goes to the edge of some woods and recounts what supposedly happened to him, and they just died laughing over it. And so, like, you could share. I don't know if you share the link or if the video is embedded here in the chat. I haven't tried that yet.
you got a video you can embed in the chat just to check.
Well, I can go over to the Space Boy. We do have a Discord server. Let's see. I see that K28 was in here on 919.
Huh.
Let's see.
I guess he was looking to see where we were at. So I don't mind saying this, but we're also looking at possibly moving the show to another content provider.
Yes.
And I've been looking at it, and I don't know why we haven't done it sooner. Um, I've been impressed with it, and plus, I think that the SBU audience will appreciate it more than the current setup.
Possibly.
Possibly, yeah. Kind of goes back to when we were doing what was it, that service we were using, and I missed that because it actually worked until they decided that in Java, or what was it Java, or was it Flash? I think whatever the site was built on.
Oh, well, you're talking about. Oh, I know what you're talking about, but it just left my brain. Just left my brain.
All I hear is call in studio, and that's a different thing we used to use for our phones.
That was just literally for communication. I know what you're talking about. So it was an app on the phone. We would log into it on the web. It would have all our back catalog on there. Yeah. But yeah, because Flash, after December, they swear, you know,
Hmm.
Chrome, Firefox, and I guess whatever Microsoft is doing for our browser these days are all
Edge.
becoming, no longer going to support Flash after December. What does that realistically mean? Does it mean you won't ever be able to do Flash content again on the websites, on the desktops?
Oh well.
I don't know.
Well, isn't Adobe? Don't they have some kind of like the next version of application
Well,
that?
well, HTML5
All right.
has to be built in to take care of certain. It depends on what you're doing now. Most sites I think people go to are just to play games online for free, and a lot of those are Flash driven.
Mm-hmm.
Those will die. Those will be affected if they're not converted and remade into an HTML5 compatible thing. Now, if you're talking just about an amusing animation, you've got the powerhouse of Adobe Premiere and Adobe After Effects
Right.
to make things.
In fact, I primarily use Premiere, Photoshop, and After Effects is what I use.
Those, the Adobe Creative Suite is powerful. You know how to use it.
Right.
All the apps. I've been leaning more heavily on Media Encoder.
Yeah.
Because at work, people are like, can you put this up on our YouTube or our blah blah blah? And they'll send me .mov. Well, according to YouTube, they'll take almost anything. But my experience is, well, they'll take it, but it doesn't want to publish, or there's something with converting it never goes right. So, and then they'll send me these bizarre. I'm like, where are you getting these video formats from? That you literally shoot it on a potato? So, Media Encoder, just like I'll take it, fix it. You know, and it does the what is that? H point, blah blah blah.
Right. The high quality. Yep.
Blu-ray quality,
Yeah.
which makes it into an MP4.
Right.
Which is what ultimately
Which is pretty universal.
CBS want.
Yeah.
Or any other site probably they want.
Yeah. That program is a blessing because you practically can convert it into any format you need to do it, and
And you don't have to open the file. It's just,
right.
you're just
Tell
looking
it.
at the text.
Tell it where it is, and then it'll grab it, and then it'll convert it, and life is good again.
And it saves your last known setup. So if I was doing an MP4 or whatever I used to set that up, it's just doing that. It'll just do that next time.
Hmm.
I don't know what else it encodes. I'm assuming it does audio and video. I don't know beyond that. I don't know what else it's for. I don't look into it. I need to do probably some tutorials in Discord. I imagine Discord knows a bit more than we know.
Right. I think I was reading a site when you were pointing me to look it up about the skin, and it has some information to incorporate it better into OBS. So.
And I'm having a weird issue with browsers, when I moved them to my secondary monitor, the top third of my browser um, window pane
Is it cutting off?
is, yeah, yeah.
And, and what happens when you double click the browser?
It's either white or black.
Huh.
Nothing happens when you double click or right click. Actually, it's showing me the desktop behind there. So uh, weird issue. Now I don't know how to drag it back to the other side.
Right.
Great. So yeah, a bunch of strange little issues that we're having here, but I think we're more and more independent content creators who have been using YouTube as a primary format and as a source of possible um, income. The world is changing, and
Right.
we're being forced to move to other alternative formats for posting video and streaming. Twitch was the powerhouse.
And I don't
They
mind
had
saying
shut
this.
down.
I don't mind saying this is that it's also a monetary issue too. We'd like to get paid a little bit of something for what we do, and I think it's rightly so, right?
Well, if we were doing the shows we used to, yeah, on that level, but you told me I was overdoing it, so I don't know. I really don't know. If we did more prep work and I had maybe cut my research time in half, so it wasn't so formatted. Uh, yeah, but for what we're doing right now, I don't think I would make anybody pay for this particular thing. But um, the thing is, YouTube is becoming so strange. They don't care about content creators. They don't care about the people who made them what they are. They care about
And
a
and
certain sect. They care about commercials. They care about big business, and they're starting censorship, 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 censorship. And of course, they're not the only ones. Twitch is doing this too. So that could have been an alternative, but they have come out with some things that are very strange. And then another thing is somebody will get on Twitch or YouTube and just do something that just absolutely has to violate the terms of service and the policies, but the bot doesn't see it, or it doesn't notice it, or it gets around, and you have to have other people spam YouTube's Twitter account and say, hey, this channel is hurting animals on camera.
right.
It's real. And you have to start a campaign to get their attention, to get them to look at it, and then you have to start another campaign to get a human to look at it. So, again, it might be a situation where ethics pushes you off of a format because you don't like how they're incompetently running their show. So, that's why we've had to explore alternatives, and we may be there, and we'll be there until they start finding out that there's no money in free speech.
Spreaker. That's what I was trying to remember.
Spreaker, that was it. Yeah. They were reliant on Flash.
Yes. I miss using them.
Surely they've gotten a new way to.
Well, it's what it is you have to use kind of a similar how we're using OBS. They have a software out there that you can broadcast through the software to their thing. And what was really good with Spreaker is they had an interface where I had all my music lined up, all the bumps and everything. And as we went down, I just went down the list and queued things up. And there's software out there that will do something similar, but I think it's overly complicated. And
I think that mimics what you do in an actual radio studio with that equipment, as far as having things ready to go and then queued up.
remember when we used to do the thing out of Arizona?
Yeah, and it costs us lots of money.
Well, it did, but I like to think of it as a learning experience. That it cost us a lot of money. I wanted to save you on that joke. Um, I think that it was cool to actually have the show broadcasted out of Arizona.
Hmm.
And I bring it up is because we had to do everything by the clock, and made sure we were on time, and um, it just it was very structured, and I liked it. I guess that's what I'm getting at.
Hmm. And I mean, but you'd already set up the 2 hour, 3 hour show on breaks and
Right.
debate.
We had
And
kind
I
of
think
well,
that was great.
I was emulating a show, and I wanted to, if our show ever got to a point where we're on terrestrial radio, then we could, bam, pick it up from right then and there.
But we're not in the era now where, first of all, we would have to come out from behind our neutrality and pick a side, and then that would probably bring us to more people, more attention along the lines of maybe not Joe Rogan, but more close to like bordering and maybe Tim Bull. I mean,
Well,
but
if we got out of the
uh,
situation we're in now with the content provider we're doing, and got to a platform that was more content friendly, then
yeah,
some of the
but
shows, like for example, a good show would have been Joseph McCartney. Did I say it right? Did I do a Gene Wilder again? Anyway, the point
I have
is
no idea what you're talking about.
Joseph McCarthy. McCarthy, that's it. He's the one that was accusing everybody of being communist, and the Red Fear back in the late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah. But the thing is, we're no longer in a world where we can do shows like that anymore because even if we're on a different format, I think people would come after us,
Hmm.
and I don't want to invite that. In fact, I've gotten to the point where I was watching the news with you, and I was looking at stuff, but I just got saturated with it recently. I'm like, I need to take a break, so.
Well,
And I've
it
even
can be
I've
overwhelming.
uninstalled Instagram. I've uninstalled Twitter. It's so toxic. All I have left is old fart Facebook right now. So, as far as
Well,
social media.
I ended up subscribing to Parlor, which is a new thing out there that if you have a more, for all those in the conservative arena that are being, thrown to the wolves because of the mighty AI god, then you have an alternative to go to the a different site, and it gets me. Um, yeah, I mean, you know what I watch and listen to, and
Yeah.
um, I always like to refer to my liberal friends, Tim Pool, um, because he comes across, I think, fair, and he's not a conservative.
No.
No, not at all, at the very least. But at least I feel like if I had a conversation with Tim Pool, it'd be like we'd have a mutual respect. It'd be one of those situations. Well, let's agree to disagree on a subject and move on. And that's the kind of things I miss. You know,
Yeah.
I guess I pulled the wind out of your sails there.
Well, it sounded like you dropped for a minute, like the call was dropped or something there.
Call, okay.
I don't know how to explain this. I can hear my voice coming through
Yeah, it's for some
your.
bizarre reason it's coming through the TV.
That's weird.
Yeah, let's see here.
But yeah, so that's why I'm trying to talk to them. 'Cause I don't want to hear my voice even when I'm speaking. I don't talk.
There, I've turned it down. You shouldn't hear it so much now.
It's weird. 'Cause it's like kind of like echo. Uh, we just we were always somewhat neutral with this show. But if we were to take it to the next level, we would have to come down on the side and be kicked off a
There,
certain platform, and we would be able to take it on the channel.
I think that
I just don't. I you can do that if you want to, but I don't want to do it myself.
the
But
thing
I'll support
is,
you if you want to do that
the
yourself
thing
by
is
yourself.
that we can come down on an issue, and as long as we keep being who we are, sincere, and respect our audience, I think they'll listen and tune in.
Well, you would say that, but I don't intend to find out. That's the only way to take it to the next level, and then you get more of the audience. But I don't personally do that. Maybe you do. That's why I wish you had some friends. But everybody we know has got like kids, things they have to do. I don't get it. You see, it goes so quiet. I think you're not there anymore.
Yeah, I'm keeping my mouth shut so that you can speak your
But I
mind.
mean, it's so quiet. It's like I don't even hear air.
Well, that's just surprising because I got the
Until you speak.
fan blowing on me, and
Well, I don't hear it until you speak.
no, it's probably because it's doing the where the microphone cuts out silence, um, so you don't hear a bunch of
Yeah. Um, but talking of entertainment, so I'm going through my usual sites I would go to back when this show did more work for it. But and all of it's like I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I don't know what that is. And I don't care. And I don't care. I don't care. And most of it, some of it I did care about, but then I heard that it was being ruined by politics. I'm like, now I really don't want to know
quite
more about
frankly,
it.
Hollywood is going up in flames. So
And I like how they're panicking about it now. I saw something in passing because I'm no longer into this. I was over it back in the 90s. But I was thinking, you must have feelings about this. I saw in passing something that said that George Lucas inspired Ryan Johnson.
well, I guess he put his foot in there, I guess, and yeah, he's no longer because originally Kathleen Kennedy was going to put him as the next person to create the next trilogy of Star Wars movies, and I guess when George heard about what he wanted them, what uh, Ryan Johnson wanted to do for the next three movies, George said, hell to the double O no. So that's why. But even at that, a lot of people, he pissed a lot of people off, of fans. He pulled one of those Brie Lawson situations. Every time I see her, apparently her YouTube channel's not doing too well. But anyway, yeah, I think he might have been able to put his 2 cents in, George, that is, and made sure that he was not going to be doing any more stuff for the Star Wars universe. So, oh well, good riddance. And
Well, he wasn't doing it much good. Well, was he, though, Johnson?
yeah, the next big thing is 2021. We see the departure of Kathleen Kennedy finally, if not sooner. Um,
He survived 2021.
yeah.
The only thing I think there's left is maybe video games, depending on what game we're talking about.
The new systems are about to come out. You got your PlayStation 5, I believe, and which saw Amazon had some kind of thing on there about PlayStation 5 and the upcoming games. It looks phenomenal. I wasn't a big fan of Ratchet and Clank or whatever that game was, but the updated version on PS5 looks pretty awesome. I even dug my PS2 out that I've been playing some games on, like Burnout. Love that game. Anyway, but
I love that game too.
Xbox is coming out with their system. I haven't really seen any games on that yet, but so far I'm pretty impressed with PlayStation. Hmm.
cartridges.
Well, the Ratchet and Clank
I
game,
think for us, I doubt you'll be buying either one because we have Steam on PC. So
right?
it's pretty much working for us.
I mean, I if I was to get a game that might be on Steam, it might be Modern Warfare. Um, just for the simple fact, I don't
I
think,
would love to play that. I would love to play Call of Duty. I would
uh,
be able to play 5 minutes.
all our equipment, we don't have anything. Well, maybe your machine, but since my other machine crashed out, I'm lucky to have what I'm.
That newer one would do it.
I don't know.
Yeah, it would. It's just i7 in it.
Yeah, but some of these games take extreme amount of processing power, and um,
Well, that's right. I know i7's a little outdated, but I mean i7 is 16 or 12 gigs RAM. Honestly, good enough if you're not doing anything else on your computer. But um, I wouldn't last 5 minutes playing that game because it is a first-person shooter, first-person perspective.
mhm.
But I would puke my guts up after 5 minutes.
Actually, I think I'm getting better at those games in the sense that I've been watching 407, and so it's kind of like I've been probably inoculating myself against.
I will watch a few seconds, then I'll look away, or I'll focus on something else so I don't get like sucked into the like you know how your brain starts to believe perspective and most of the time I'm on my phone so I can have it running in the background. I just like listening to them talk, you know. So there's another bunch of people that play Rainbow Six, which
Hmm.
is almost the exact same kind of game, but they play Japanese, which is a great format. Um, People watch those to listen to them shoot the breeze, so to speak,
Right.
and they're pretty freaking entertaining, per se. It's not. I guarantee you, most people aren't watching that content on a daily basis because they all get together and play together. Funny.
What I've really enjoyed more recently is Nogla and their group. Nogla. He is pretty funny when he gets upset.
I know. I've watched. I must have watched his Rage compilations like 20 times or best of.
Hmm.
He and Noga's a young Irish YouTuber. That's his last name. His name is Donkey Nogla. His actual name. Funniest thing I saw him doing was a much older video. He was playing with Jacksepticeye, another Irish YouTuber,
Hmm.
and they were playing Farming Simulator, which you can get on this game. But they were two Irish guys playing Farming Simulator, and they were farming at night. And they were just running around in tractors and playing chickens and track. They were trying to actually play the game through,
Right.
and they were doing their typical Irish talk, and they referenced Father Ted twice during that game, and I was like, ah! And so they were, you have objectives you're supposed to do in that game, and you're not supposed to lose money, and you got to raise crops, and there's very regimented things you're supposed to do that game. And of course, they didn't do any of it, and they run around in their tractors at night, and they come upon this equipment, this machinery. It's like a silo, and it's like spitting out stuff, and it's potatoes. And he goes, "Oh, Jimmy Macpercent!" It was so funny. They were so freaking Irish in that moment. I was like, "This is just perfect." But
Actually, Salty Cracker used a clip from that. Remember when they were accusing Father Ted of being racist?
yeah,
Yeah.
should we all be racist now, Father? What's the church's official stance? I don't really have time to be racist. I just come home and have a cup of tea. I have all 3 seasons of Father Ted on DVD. Of course, I don't need it anymore, but I had thoroughly seen Father Ted way before I moved to Texas, before I met you.
Mhm.
And I guess I indoctrinated you
Yeah,
with
I
Father Ted.
I fell in love with it. It was a pretty good show.
I've
Yeah.
never seen an Irish TV show comedy before
Right.
until I saw that. And the guy who co-wrote that also went on to do Get Crowd, and he also did Black Books, and
most popular, which
thing with Joel McHale, and some people like, no, that's the biggest thing we've alone. And it fell through, thank God. So it's
that
perfect as is.
well, actually, that fell through. Red Dwarf fell through. I mean, it just sometimes you get these producers that they just want to change the formula altogether,
Fell through, thank God. And
and
that's still going on. They're still making new episodes of Red Dwarf. Original Red Dwarf, not a new one.
right.
Still same cast.
Yeah,
So
I just
I don't
saw
know
it.
if you want to.
Yeah, I saw it on. Well, we have BritBox. That's where I saw it. But
Yeah, that takes me to a '90s and late '80s into the early '90s, and then it went away and it came back and it went away and it came back over there, in England.
right.
And the thing I recall most of Rick Dwarf is I mentioned it in an email to you when you and I were corresponding when we met, and it seemed like that was the one thing that pushed you over the edge to want to meet me because I was into
Yeah,
sci-fi
I thought
novels.
you were interesting when you did that, but you know, uh, apparently Bob and Bev are in the chat room. I've reached out to them and said howdy and hello. Um,
Oh, you cut off there. I hear
I said Bob and Bev are in the chat room. Uh, well, she is in a tunnel because I've trapped her in there, Bev. She says, "Why does Solana sound like she's in a tunnel?" It's this crazy setup we have.
you laughing though. I'm, what the heck was that?
Wait, are you in the chat room with the other cadets? Can you hear me still? Did I lose you? I don't hear you. Can you hear me now? Oh no.
I know. I'll hear one or two words from you.
That's why I can't get a word edgewise in.
Okay, that's a little better. Well, our Wi-Fi hasn't been the same since we got struck by lightning.
Yep.
I noticed that the connection, I don't know how to explain it other than it's fine for a while, and it kind of like goes sour, and you have to, like on the phone, you have to turn off Wi-Fi, wait a few seconds, and then turn it back on, and it's better. So that's probably what's going on right now.
Here, I can fix this.
Changing universes.
There, I turned off the fan. Apparently, everybody goes bonkers when I'm talking to them from work, from my computer, and saying, I can't hear you. God dang it, the fan is just. It's probably part because the microphone has that anti noise cancellation.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
trying to cancel the back.
the background noise and the fan's constantly going, so you probably can hear me a lot better now.
I can hear you a lot better, and even the quality of your side has changed.
Yeah, I should have turned off that fan earlier.
Well, all I was saying is that it is October,
God, where's the year gone?
and at the end of this month, how many years will it be now? Now, do you count from when we met or when from we were legally joined?
Legally married.
Okay,
That would
so
be
that was 2006.
2006. We met in '04, got engaged in '05, and married in '06.
So you don't count that year as a year though. '06.
What those 2 years was a starter pack, I guess.
Okay, we'll lump those together and we'll call that a year.
Well, I like to keep that separated from our actual marriage date, so it's kind of like
Gotta keep them separate from me.
because just thinking about how long we've been married is surprising.
Well, it's definitely 10 years. More than that, right?
Well, 6, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 14 years. And I'm sure at some point Bob and Bev are going to chime in and say how long they've been together. Bob's going to say something like, "Well, it seems like forever and a day," and and Bev's going to say something to the effect, Bob."
Okay. Um, but yeah, and with that, we have a. I always think of October. I know everybody's dominated by Halloween, but
Yeah,
growing up, we
Oc-
never celebrated that, got into anything. But
October
and
surprise.
I don't either. So it's more about our wedding anniversary, October, and October always feels more sci-fi because
Actually, technically, we reached our fifth anniversary with Spaceboy Universe this
right.
last
So
month on the 27th.
right, we just didn't mention it. So um, we always we don't always, but it seems like we end up watching a particular episode of Star Trek. Because we were married at the Star Trek experience, which is long gone now from the Hilton in Las Vegas. But that's where we were married on the bridge of the Enterprise D. So we, for
Bob
some reason, you and
Bob
I
basically just said what I said. Bev comes in. We met in '86, married in December '86, and then Bob comes back. Yeah, it's been billions of years.
oh, I didn't realize you were on
The
the
chat,
chat.
yes,
Sorry.
yeah. I'm watching the chat. You get 'em, Bev. So, but yeah, in case y'all didn't know, we started the show a little early than usual, and I was afraid if I didn't start it, Solana would go back into hibernation.
So,
So,
yeah, so you and I always end up, or one of us, sometimes not together, going back and watching a particular episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine because it's such a good episode. So, we've mentioned this before in the Pale Moonlight. If you have access to watch Deep Space Nine in that particular episode, I want to say it's near the, like maybe season 5 or 6. Yeah, it's only had 6 seasons, right? So, um,
6 seasons in a movie.
it won't make any sense to you if you've never watched Deep Space Nine. You don't know the story arc, but it's some darn fine writing on that show. Not everything was great. You know, they had their stupid, goofy moments, but um, Star Trek never handled humor very well in the shows. It was always very awkward.
Hmm.
Now, it's like people in the future don't have a nicely developed sense of humor. Ferengi did okay, but they got slapsticky a little bit, and I didn't care for it. But yeah, but
Actually, I did tell you that there were people on YouTube, and you weren't listening to me, or I was cutting out, and that's
I think you're cutting out. Yeah. See, they saw you're cutting in and out too, and I think you saw the problem though. So, um, I'm in Discord. Our Discord, Spaceboy Universe Discord, stays open all the time, pretty much. I'm talking to him right now in a direct private message in Discord, but Spaceboy Universe Discord is there. I just have to send out an invite. That's some, going forward. I imagine there's going to come a moment here we are going to have to abandon YouTube for streaming, and we will probably have to go to DLive, which means if you don't want to get a login for DLive, you can just get a login for Discord and still be able to do all the cool stuff. You can put GIFs in there, you can share screenshots and images, you can put
but
links in there, you can
I
tag.
strongly encourage you to get a DLive account.
Yeah, it's all free.
It's all free. I just strongly recommend that. That way we can uh, gauge our followers and interact better with them. And even though we'll probably, in addition to D-Live, we'll still use Discord, and things are coming. Some changes are coming. As soon as I get this dang studio rewired, then we'll be back both in the saddle again, and hopefully life will be good again.
Yeah, it's my the computer I was using is fine, right? That's last
Yeah,
song. Okay, so
it needs to be plugged back in power-wise, but yes.
I also like to get access back to that external hard drive, if possible.
Hmm.
That was plugged directly into the modem, though, wasn't it?
Modem.
Unless it got fried too.
The external drive is still working.
Okay.
It's not like the other computer that got fried. In fact, even the network cord was fried. I had to get rid of that cord and replace it.
Wow, that was powerful. It happened at 3 a.m. Saturday morning, or like that, something like that, or
Killed
Sunday morning, like that.
killed two computers.
Two computers fried some stuff in my bathroom, like it made the light bulbs pop, and it was so that it popped one of my eardrums. I screamed bloody murder. The cat took off, didn't see her for a while. Yeah, it was something. These lightning strikes are not to be taken lightly, and we probably need better UPSs, Universal Protect Surge Protector
Hmm.
thingies in there.
All right, Solana.
But
We're going to go ahead and wrap the program up for today. It should be up and running here very shortly, the backup on YouTube, and just keep an eye out for the Space Cadets for more information on Facebook, what the future's coming down the pipe, and we'll make sure that everybody's in the loop. And Bev, I haven't forgot about you in the sense of being a part of the 2-Bit Gamers group. We're just trying to get through this hump first, and then we'll open up gaming and do some of that stuff and get you involved and all that good stuff. Sound good, Solana?
yeah,
Okay, let's see if this will work.
SpaceboyUniverse is hosted by Spaceboy and Sir Lana. Executive producer is Sir Lana. Associate producer is Lee Ann Cordes. Music production is Spaceboy of SpaceboyMusic.com. Special thanks goes out to Lee Ann K, K28, Dino, Solars Blue Raven, Patrick Sporer, Bob. This has been a Spaceboy production. Support the universe by exploring Spaceboy Universe with Spoy and Sir Lana.